Hey there. So, for starters, with the first question, which is what did you learn that you did not know regarding Bitcoin and all the cryptocurrencies and the blockchain, technology? I was already kind of well informed. I have already watched a bunch of documentaries. I've read a few things, watched videos. So, I already knew a lot of things. Well, not a lot, just like, the basic fundamentals of cryptocurrency, because I've always found it like to be very interesting. But I guess one thing that I learned, something that I changed my perspective on, is that before I thought that cryptocurrency was primarily used for things regarding the Silk Road, with all that anonymous transactions, for drugs, for guns, for any kind of purchases that were not legally allowed. And that's what I thought like was the use for Bitcoin. I thought the Bitcoins were used primarily for those kind of things because you can't really trace where a Bitcoin comes from because of the blockchain technology, and also because you don't have names. There are only like snippets of codes, and I thought the people who were into all that like Bitcoin stuff were two kinds of people. Only the people who wanted to buy illegal things, those cyber funk. I think it's called like the cyber funks or something. Those people, or people who were investing in the actual, you know, monetary value of cryptocurrency. But I thought it was like only for a very specific niche. But I guess I also found out that there's a lot of different uses for it. As they mentioned, there is no central system that is controlling the transaction of money. So in reality, you actually get to send or receive 100% of the transaction, and the banks or governments or no central system takes a profit from it. So essentially, there's a lot of things that you can do with it, and I guess that's something that I didn't know. Then for the question that says, what did you find to be the worst regarding the documentary, Banking on Bitcoin? I guess there was this one part where they mentioned that they arrested, I forgot his name, but one of the guys who started, it was one of the Bitcoin companies, the guy with a lot of facial hair. I kind of forgot his name, but the point is that he got arrested because he acknowledged the fact that people who bought bitcoins and then sold them, they would use those bitcoins, like third party, they would use them to buy drugs or illegal things. And I think it's absolutely horrifying because, as they mentioned in the documentary, it is a well-known fact that ATMs on the street, they also give money to people who buy drugs, who buy weapons, to buy everything, and it's fine. Also, when there was the stock market crash in 2008, a lot of people lost their jobs. There was one of the biggest financial crises in recent history, and in reality, not a lot of people actually, did time. Nobody was actually persecuted. Only I think like one person, and they were horrible crimes. And yet, when there is an innovator, a person trying to create a new kind of, system, they send them to jail super quick. I found that actually kind of sad how there is a system that profits off of a lot of things, and they do not want change and they do not want innovation. I guess that part was kind of bad. Anyway, so the final question that said, should cryptocurrency be regulated or not, and why? I think that it's a complicated question because there's one side which is, freedom and being able to have your own money without intervention. But then there's also the side where there's illegal things such as the Silk Road, and there's even human trafficking. Like anything can happen. So I feel like there should be like a middle ground where there's a set of established regulations that they guide kind of like the ethical background of these kinds of transactions, but there shouldn't be kind of like governmental regulation or an institutional regulation, because then that kind of loses the essence of what cryptocurrency kind of tries to do. So yeah, I think there should be regulation, but like just very superficial, just kind of like a overall set of guidelines.